Matt Walsh wants to have sex with 16-year-olds? What? Welcome to the revolution. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. Hope you guys are having a freaking fantastic day. As always, if you don't mind sharing this with all your friends and family, you can put it on all social media platforms. The only way it grows through people like you. If not, I don't care. But Matt Walsh has a video going around that's been unearthed from his early 20s that essentially alludes to 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds getting pregnant. It's important to remember that we live in a culture that is constantly obsessed with ruining people's character, ruining people's, their character, their well-being, especially pulling up old tweets, old comments, old jokes that maybe they don't necessarily believe in anymore. And now is the time to pile on and go nuts. Now is the time to ruin someone's life, because it's more important to ruin someone's life than actually just, continue to progress as a society. We are a population, we are a culture that is obsessed with ruining the other, dehumanizing the person, and especially just getting rid of their personhood, their humanhood in its totality. It's important to ruin their character and everything they stand for. Now, Matt Walsh put out a statement today before we get into the actual clip, when I have the clip up as well. Don't worry. Matt Walsh put out a statement, said, "My PR team at Media Matters," of course this Media Matters, because, it's not that they want to make your life better. They just want to attack the other side, because that's what we're about nowadays in podcast world. It's not let's make everything better or progress as a society. Let's just pick little fights like we're 12. It's more important to act like we're 12 than act like we're 18 or 16, according to Matt. Matt says, "My PR team at Media Matters wasn't satisfied to promote my current show. So they've gone back to ancient past to dig up and misrepresent out-of-context material from a rock morning show I hosted in my early 20s on an obscure station in Delaware. Wonder if he was raised with Puerto Ricans like Joe Biden. Pathetic and desperate as usual. At this point in the cancellation, where the target is supposed to fall on their knees and beg for forgiveness with a bunch of slandering trolls, I will be skipping that part of the ceremony. I apologize for nothing. Piss off. Thank you." Now, what is the clip? What's the clip that everyone's freaking out about? Because he's basically Satan himself in the form of a man baby with a huge beard and always wears flannel. What's behind the flannel, Matt? Here's the clip. This is from Hasan. Of course, Hasan has to jump on this because, well, he's a Twitch streamer, and that's what they do. Now's the time to not actually have a statement or stand for anything. Now's the time to just go against everything the other side is for. And it's more important, if there's an opportunity to take away someone's character, that's their way of dismissing any future comment regarding anything of the matter. That's what they do, though, Every time I put up a clip, every time I put up a video, it's attacking me, attacking what I look like, attacking my hair, attacking my face, attacking me as a white male, calling me stupid, whatever word you want to use, instead of actually discussing what I said in the video, because discussing what you say in the video, well, requires thought, and that's too hard for our modern day internet warrior like myself. But here's Matt Walsh saying, as Hasan says, shocked that Matt Walsh is interested in impregnating 16-year-olds, and that's what the whole internet piled on for. Here we go. Matt Walsh being a groomer is the least surprising revelation in history of humanity. Every accusation is a confession, which is interesting because the left constantly calls people on the right racist, so I like that rhetoric. I'm here for that. Matt Walsh being outed as a pedophile is the least surprising thing. Those who scream the loudest are usually the guiltiest, like yourself. All the time, sometimes people, I don't think, understand the irony in a lot of their own statements. I mean, I fail that from time to time. I do say so myself, but I digress. Here's the clip. All right, let's get in the clip. It's just so silly, but we have to talk about it because, I don't know. All right, here we go.
It is not. In fact, ever since the beginning of time, teenage girls have been getting pregnant. It used to be more common. The peak, ever since they started keeping records of these things, which they only started doing recently, like in the 20th century, but ever since they started keeping records, in 1957 was the peak for teenage pregnancy. 1957. Not 2009,
well, back
not
then,
today.
All of them were supposed to have kids. Like, that's when you had kids.
That's my point, okay? So to all of a sudden act like this phenomenon of girls getting pregnant at a young age that we consider young, 16 or 17, to act like it's a new thing is ridiculous. It's always been that way. Even biologically, and this is me just stating, I'm going to start by just stating facts. So fact number 1, it's not a new phenomenon. Fact number 2, in fact, it's a phenomenon that was more common earlier in history, and for the first 6,000 to 10,000 years of human existence, it was a normal thing. Fact 3, girls between the ages of like 17 and 24 is when they're technically most fertile.
Yeah.
Okay? That's biological. That's a fact, all right? I'm just stating facts. That's all I'm doing. But what happened recently, and this is the 4th fact, recently in the last 30 years or so, we decided that that's way too young to start a family.
Why?
And because now
divorce rates would probably go up, and once you're that young, you can't really make sure that you know.
No, girls are getting no.
Girls were getting married early, and marriages were lasting longer. You very rarely hear about like these relationships that go to their your diamond anniversary, your 50th anniversary, and all this. That's a dying breed of people out there.
Yeah, and those were all people that got married very young. That's why
they're still alive.
Yeah, that's why you can have someone in their 70s who's celebrating their 55th wedding anniversary because they got married when they were teenagers. So what I'm saying is that the problem is not per se teenage pregnancy, it's unwed pregnancy. That's the problem in society. It's only problematic when you are not married and you don't have the man there to help you take care of the kids because he's a coward. And the reason why we have that now are for 2 reasons. Because we have in current society, we live in the age of extended adolescence.
And I would assume that is his entire point, is the end product of that whole rant. And again, this is live, so you never know. I'm sure there are things he might regret saying and maybe changes his mind. Someone in their early 20s would probably say stupid things if they had a radio show too. But just leave the kids alone. How about that? I think we could all agree on that. But it's funny that these people are piling on this while at the same time they advocate for, 16-year-olds mutilating their bodies. So we live in an insane time period where people are fighting for what goes in their kids' minds and ears. And I'm sure Matt doesn't actually want to impregnate 16-year-olds, regardless of what people are saying. But I'm sure he would, though, argue for being married earlier in life. And we do have an obsession as a culture of prolonging adolescence because it seems more fun. Here, we're more youthful. We live longer. We know more about, we don't need to eat McDonald's for every meal because it feels like crap. So if we just do that, also there's testosterone clinics and stuff like that. So it keeps people staying young. Here's the thing. Is this something they even talk about? No. Is this a matter of a serious opinion that needs to be critiqued into a point of oblivion? No. Here is just another perfect example of internet culture and their obsession of slandering and taking someone down. Because at the end of the day, the internet isn't for us growing together anymore or learning information anymore. That time period was the 90s when there wasn't censorship and we just allowed all speak. Now is the time for censorship, and now is the time to ruin people's lives, because it's more important to ruin their life than actually explain what we believe in and actually stand for something. Now, my channel, we do a lot of silly things. So sometimes we take clips out of context for a laugh, but not for a serious matter. This is meant to be, if this was just for a laugh, I would completely understand, but this is meant to be a slam dunk. This is meant to be for the left saying, okay, now everything Matt Walsh says from now on is a lie because he's not showing his true colors, because he himself wants to impregnate 16-year-old girls and boys, because that's more important. Did you say impregnate boys? Please take that out of context. I hope you guys have a freaking fantastic day. And now you're going to wonder if I said that on purpose or not. I hope you have a fantastic day. And I appreciate every single one of you guys for joining me on this silly segment that needs to be talked about. Who cares? I mean, this is like such a weak attempt of destroying someone's character. Because, I mean, in some degree, Matt Walsh is correct. People were having babies younger in life, because people weren't living longer. People were getting married earlier because of religious reasons and also, to survive and stuff like that. It's just a different time period. Also, when I was in my 20s, I said a lot of stupid stuff. I'm 55 years old right now, and I don't regret anything I said, and I stand for... Imagine being someone that looks back in their life and they said, you know what? Since the day I was born, I never changed my opinion. I always stayed true to myself. I never grew. I never learned. And because of that, you can play a podcast for me 20 years ago, and I will say exactly the same thing. Show me that person, and I don't want to be a part of their culture, a part of their videos ever. Am I going to say things that are insane? Absolutely. Am I going to say things I don't mean? All the time. That's the whole point of being an entertainer. It'd be so silly if we're just so serious all the time. Don't impregnate. Don't get pregnant when you're 16, 17. Don't mutilate your bodies. Don't choose anything that's going to ruin the rest of your life or alter who you are for the rest of your life. Try to just be a kid and enjoy the moment and mess up, do things wrong every once in a while, and get in trouble, because that's what being a kid's all about. And then when you're in your 20s, you can start to decide who you are more. Where you're 16, 18, now's the time to just find friends and community that you like. And don't be a part of a community that's obsessed with destroying another person's well-being. Have a great day. Love you guys. Bye.